Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you're not following me on Instagram, my name is Charles Tabanzi, handle CTABANZ. Also, make sure you follow Dreamerspro, our Instagram, same name as the channel, Dreamerspro. And also make sure you check out the Dreamerspro podcast that we have pinned in the comment section below. Anyway, let's get into this topic here. Now, as you guys know, the NBA season, the official season, is about less than 2 weeks from now. Now, funny enough, we produced the show. I want to quickly touch on this from yesterday. We produced the show yesterday on some comments that Giannis Antetokounmpo made about the Lakers. I think some people, I don't know, maybe some people watch our show. I don't know what some people are doing when they watch some of these shows. People are like, oh, you didn't need to make the show. No, I reacted to what Giannis said. Giannis was the one saying, what the hell are these Lakers doing? It's a preseason game. Why y'all doing all of this? What's the need for all of this? And somehow people turned it into me saying that. What's going on? Giannis said it. I reported on what Giannis said. They're like, no, you need to make this show. Now, so you need to go talk to Giannis. Now, if you're saying that we shouldn't produce anything negative or produce our thoughts, my brother, you got the wrong champ. We're going to say what we believe here. But people telling me you don't need to produce this, you don't need to produce that. I don't go to other people's channels telling them what they need to talk about and what they don't need to talk about. Like, what's going on? I give my opinion. Some of you guys act like people are forcing you to watch the content. Nobody forced you. When I watch content on YouTube, I rarely, if ever, leave comments on people's videos telling them you don't need to be talking about this. You don't need, like, cut it out. Like, come on. Like, some people be taking it a little bit too far. Anyway, back to the content here. As you guys know, about a week or so ago, ESPN released a list to troll everyone, right? Like they normally do. Now, we all know that ESPN usually produces perennially some of the worst rankings in all of sports when it comes to the NBA. Like they are known for this. They are known for this. That's the reason why Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe, said ESPN got a bunch of idiots working there. That's what Kobe said. That's what Kobe. Now, some people say, well, you're not a journalist, you're not a basketball player. Well, that's what he said. So you help me figure it out. What is he seeing that we're seeing? That's what Kobe Bryant said. ESPN usually makes some of the most ridiculous, outlandish lists. And we recently came across an audio from the Dan Le Batard show with Amin Assad, who was basically saying that, listen, as someone that used to work at these networks, I can tell you for a fact that they make these lists to troll people. And he went behind the scenes and he told us exactly how these lists were made. They were essentially made by some type of algorithm where they would take two random players. What do you think? Him or him? Who's better? Okay, him. All right. And they keep putting it into an algorithm that spits out a number and they weigh it or whatever and decide to come up with their rankings. Just imagine. This is how they come up with their NBA rankings. It's absolutely unheard of. But for whatever reason, you have people on the internet that run around and they swear by these lists. Did you see where ESPN had this guy ranked? Did you see where they had that? I'm like, nobody's even thinking about this list that they generated. So what happened? Yesterday, I was listening to a segment from the Redick show, and they were talking about some basketball topic. And at a certain point within his show, he started to talk about the ESPN ranking, right? And no one asked him to do it. He did it on his own. And he basically wanted to point out that, listen, ESPN is trolling you guys. And to have somebody that works at ESPN basically say that they're doing this for clicks and views is pretty revealing. So what we want to do is want to quickly play what Redick had to say about what he believes ESPN is doing by putting out these ridiculous lists. And then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to what Redick had to say here about ESPN's list. Take a listen to that.
I want to make one more point. The top 100, okay?
Oh, no.
The top 100. What people need to understand about the top 100 is that several years ago, they changed how they did the ranking. There's an expert panel. I'm using air quotes here. An expert panel of 150 basketball people that are asked to rank this top 100. And years ago, they would simply rank the players. Here's my list. Here's my 100 players they're in the top 100, right? Several years ago, they use this format now where it's who would you rather have for this upcoming season, player A or player B? And then there's an algorithm, and then it spits out a new thing. Here, would you rather have this player or this player? And so It's not an actual ranking. It's not an actual list. It is the difference between the 93rd player and the 50. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No one's sitting there and saying, oh, there's 40 better players than Russell Westbrook between 93 and 50. No, nobody listed the players. They're simply asked, who would you rather have this upcoming season, Jordan Clarkson or Russell Westbrook? And 75 people say, I'd rather have Russell Westbrook. Okay, well, he gets spit out to the next algorithm. Who would you have, Russell Westbrook or player B? That's how it works. It's not a listing. But also, of these 150 people who claim to be basketball experts, how is Derek White not in the top 100? How is that possible? He's a top 50 player. What playoff games were you watching last year? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no Derek White, no PJ Washington, no Jaden McDaniels. Like there are a few ones. Like, hey man, where are we at?
It's Nikias, do you have a top 50 of the 100 that didn't make it?
No, that's a challenge to me. I will have that.
Please don't.
No, okay.
I'm sorry about my voice, and I'm sorry about the early. We're recording this at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, and I'm heated about this. I'm heated about this. So for all the trolling, it's essentially one big troll. The list is one big troll because people don't take the time to actually read the disclaimer if you go to ESPN's website. Nobody's listing the players. It's a troll for engagement. That's all it is.
So you heard what JJ Redick had to say. Now, let me go into the list here because ESPN got totally demolished because of this list. Absolutely demolished because of this list. Let me go here and look at one of the rankings. Let's just go. Let's look at some of them here. ESPN had Grant Williams ranked as the number 97 player, Harrison Barnes 96, Jalen Williams 95. Then they had Russell Westbrook at 94. We can stop right there. Then they had Mike Conley ahead of Russell Westbrook. They had Emmanuel Quickley ahead of Russell Westbrook. They had Josh Hart in front of Russell Westbrook. John Collins in front of Russell Westbrook. Oh, Lord. Do y'all know that ESPN had Robert Williams III ahead of Russell Westbrook? They had Kevin Looney ahead of Russell Westbrook. The list continues on. They had Buddy Hield at 87. They had Kyle Kuzma at 86. Well, they had Clint Capella at 84. They had Tobias Harris at 83. So Tobias Harris is better than Russell Westbrook. All right, we're going to continue on. They had Cameron Johnson. They had Bobby Portis. They had Jalen Green. Tyler Hero's better than Russell Westbrook. I continue on. They had Scoot Anderson. Scoot Anderson. Man, I wonder what his numbers were last year. Oh, that's right. He didn't play. That's right. He didn't play. He didn't play. How the hell are you going to rank somebody that has never played in the NBA? Y'all help me figure it out. Y'all help me figure it out. How did they do it? They got him up there. Then they got Jordan Clarkson. They got Chris Paul. Who else did they got? Cade Cunningham. Chet Holmgren. You had Jordan Poole. You had R.J. Barrett. Then you had, who else? Michael Porter Jr., OG Anunoby, Austin Reeves. Then they had Miles Turner, Then they had Rudy Gobert. Then who else? Kristaps Porzingis, Desmond Baines. And the list just got more egregious. It just gets more and more egregious. And you have Zion Williamson. I can even understand this list. They had Draymond Green in front of Zion Williamson. Oh, Lord God, help us all. I don't even know what to say about this. This list was so bad. I don't know if you saw it. There was a recent clip that was going around the internet of Kenyon Martin almost losing his mind going off on this list. Do you know why Kenyon Martin was going off on this list? Because last year they had John Morant ranked as the number 9th player in the NBA, and this year they have him ranked outside the top 25. And Kenyon Martin was asking himself the question that a lot of us were asking: what exactly happened to John Morant's game that would cause him to go from being a top 10 player to a top 25 player? Now, some of these people that may be generating these lists, they may be ranking this list, they'll say, oh, well, we're talking about his availability and what he may bring to the team. So if that's the case, how do you have rookies that have never played a single game in the NBA? How do you know they're even going to be healthy enough to play an entire year this year? How do you even know that they're going to be? How do you even know that they're going to be productive? How did they come up with this list? Personally, they do this to troll you guys. They do it to troll you guys. Oh, y'all didn't think there was such a thing as clickbait? Y'all didn't think that? Wait, you didn't read some of those big titles on ESPN's channel? Some of those you didn't read some of those titles with the sirens and all of that stuff. And I click on the video and I'm expecting to see some major heat and there's nothing. Oh, you thought it was just independent creators that do that? You didn't think that the big boys did that? You didn't think that they did that to generate a lot of conversation and get people? They don't even believe those lists that they're putting up there. No one with a straight face can explain that list in a sensible way. Nobody. Because it makes it seem like as if you don't even watch basketball. You don't even watch it. So to me, man, listen, this is what they do. And unfortunately, they are successful at trolling people with these lists. The sad part is that some people swear by these lists. Some people base their GOAT arguments off of what people at ESPN say. Just imagine that. They actually base it. You see what the ESPN's top 10? Who cares what their top 10 is? All of it is ridiculous anyway. All of it. Now, they couldn't play around with the top 10 because they had their top 10. They couldn't mess around. Because if they now start putting up some foolishness in their top 10, they would have lost a lot of people. So they knew that they could mess around with people from 11 onwards to 100 or whatever. But you knew you couldn't do that with the top 10. Because if there are certain players that if they're not in the top 10, you lose all credibility. So to me, man, that came from JJ Redick. That's somebody that works there. This is what he's saying. That they're trolling you guys. That's what he's using an algorithm to determine who the best players are. An algorithm to tell you who the best NBA players are. You need an algorithm to tell you that? You need to go to MIT to be able to understand who's a good basketball player and who's not? If that's the case, we in trouble. We are in serious trouble. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.